If you're trying to post and you have art that you want to put out there or something you want to say and you don't feel like people are seeing it, that is not evidence that what you're doing or saying or putting out there is not important.
Yeah.
And that's where I think I get worried about when somebody's like, I just want to be a content creator. Do you consider yourself an influencer?
I hate the word.
I know, that's why I'm asking. I don't necessarily like.
What do you say?
I consider myself a creator.
Okay, yes.
Influencing is also generally associated with women and girls. And I also feel like it's easy for people to shit on the shit women and girls do and dominate, right? I'm not saying that there are not male influencers. I'm saying that influencers are largely women, and so it's easy to shit on influencing or make fun of influencers. It's tempting to sometimes, like some of the things that happen, you're like, why would you do that? Why would you say that?
For sure.
But then I hold back because I'm like, interesting that girls have found a way to make an income by being themselves and being public facing and own their IP.
Yeah.
And like that's actually also really cool. So I don't want to dogpile it. I think that's cool. And I can't deny that it's helped me make a way. However, I'll also say there are some people we know who are known for just existing, going on trips, wearing clothes. I would say that's an influencer.
For sure.
My career would tank if I started just going on trips and doing hauls. No one would watch it. I'm not super fashionable.
They would hate me.
They would
all walk out the door. Yeah.
So I feel like I recognize that my following comes from my writing and skits.
Oh, I know. I'm surprised to see me here too.
I identify more as a creator.
Yeah.
There was a while where I would say content creator.
Yeah. Did you stop saying that?
I did. I'm going to tell you why.
Hit me.
Because all of this kind of took off the whole time I was in a relationship. And so I didn't get this little one piece of context, this shift that happened. Because I remember there was a time, 2020, TikTok days, where content creator was that was more common. You know what I mean? You could say that. But so we broke up over the summer and I got back on the apps and you already know, you know. Yeah.
I need to know what's going on.
In my job description, I put content creator and I realized very quickly that now specifically to a lot of people means you are on OnlyFans.
Wait, really?
Yes.
Wow.
And honestly,
do your thing, girls.
Right. And it's kind of because I think there's it's a code word thing. And I'm glad that they kind of have a way that they can say it. You know what I mean? But I didn't know that happened. Huh. I was on Hinge for a while with people being so what kind of content? And I would be like,
really?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm glad you're educated. I'm out here, really content creator, what have you. Yeah.
But in person, no one thinks that.
Sure.
Yeah. But it's I don't know.
Online.
I don't know. Or on your LinkedIn, God forbid.
Yeah. God forbid. I've been saying clown for a while. Yeah, interesting.
Maybe I'll start saying clown.
I think even having this, I think it's cool we're having this conversation because I can genuinely say I've never talked about this on camera before, and I would be so interested to see how other people join this conversation.
Yeah.
I think it is easy to be like, ew, I'm not an influencer, and it's chill. There are influencers that are proud influencers that I have met that are lovely people that are doing their best and trying to make a lane for themselves.
Yeah.
And is there anything inherently wrong with that? No.
Yeah. And I mean, it is literally at the roots of this whole industry is women who were blogging about their experiences with motherhood.
Yeah.
In a way that
oh, I love this take.
You know what I mean? Those were the first people online. And I think about it, I talk about this a lot whenever I talk about this.
You have a recent video about this.
Yeah. If we look back at the very beginning of content creation, it was mommy bloggers. It was women venting out their frustrations and sharing tips and talking about things between moms. They were bloggers and they started getting Downy paid ads on their websites. And that was that had never happened before. And so I do think that kind of misogyny against I do think it's very deeply rooted. Do you know what I mean? Because I will say, I've never even thought about it, but we don't really think about guys who get online and do
supplements.
And not even that, but I don't want to get too shady. I don't want to get too shady about
No, I hear you. There are so many, I can think of, I can visualize a couple. There are men that are basically fitness influencers, but they're I'm a trainer.
Yeah.
It's okay, baby, but you're also a fitness influencer.
Yeah.
Like, you're selling a program.
And are you a trainer or are you a guy who works out on camera?
And you're,
'Cause one of those is a licensed. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, my husband's a personal trainer, has no social media whatsoever. He has a lot of really passionate opinions, actually, about that industry, but I won't comment because I don't know enough about it.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
just made a comment without commenting.
Yeah.
No, I actually, like, there are actually some really great people online that I really love, but there's also specifically men sometimes where I'm like, I don't love that you have access to microphone equipment. Yeah, I think this conversation is really interesting. This is a major facet to our daily life and our digital cultural economy.
Yeah.
And it is crazy, and I think it is cool that at the same time, like, when I meet young people, 18, 19, younger than that.
Younger, yeah.
And they're like, and I'm like, what do you want to do? And they're like, I just want to be like a YouTuber. I want to be a content creator. Okay.
Yeah. What do you say to that?
That's so difficult for me sometimes because I'm like, I stumbled into this.
Yeah.
And now I love it and it's great. I don't want to close the door behind me. Of course not. I think I would just say, if you're just like, I just want to be a content creator. Well, my first question is always like, oh, well, what do you have to say? Like, what is important to you to say?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And if they don't have an answer to that, it's like, oh, I just want to be a content creator.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, well, we have to think about that because, one, I think you actually made a post about this, like beginner's luck and like the level of like luck involved in this that can be super disheartening and frustrating for other people.
Yeah. All the beginner's luck and all of the like lightning in a bottle and all of the like raw, unskilled passion that you can put into your work when genuinely no one gives a or cares. That is the best it's ever gonna feel.
A lot of times people are like, I'm posting and posting and posting, but I'm not getting traction. I really deeply dislike that here are 3 things you're not doing right and why you're not an influencer.
Yeah.
It's like, because it's suggesting that, like, if you're trying to post and you have art that you want to put out there or something you want to say and you don't feel like people are seeing it, that is not evidence that what you're doing or saying or putting out there is not important.
Yeah.
And that's where I think I get worried about when somebody's like, I just want to be a content creator.
Yeah.
Because it's making, you're then very you're completely reliant on the outcome being you get views and you get famous.
Yeah.
Whereas I would be so much more encouraging of somebody who's like, I have something I want to say or art that I want to make and I would like to put it out there in this format. I'd be like, yeah, do that and do it even if...
Yeah.
Do it regardless. Hey, help me out.
Well, because I remember, and I feel especially hypocritical talking about it this way because I think I had like 70,000 followers on TikTok, which Instagram I think is a very different beast.
It is.
And
Isn't
even
that so
now
interesting?
with Reels, it's changing. And Reels I do think is a great tool for building traction. But like for a time, Instagram was much more like 10K on Instagram hit way harder than like 100K on TikTok for quite a while.
Ooh, okay.
You know, and I still think it is.
I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, like I probably had like 70K on TikTok, and I like went to get coffee with a friend, and I was like, I'm going to like do this seriously, and it was like blank face, like, okay, you know, because it's like it's such a like chances probability game, but I look back at if I can ever scroll that far, I've looked back a couple times to like find old videos, and like from that moment for like the next 2 years, most of my videos were getting like 5,000 views.
Did you change anything major, or is it the same you?
I really I just kept doing it.
You just kept going.
And honestly, every time that I tried to like distill out a particular formula, it fucked up the game.
Exactly.
You know?
There's the rub.
Yeah.
You're saying exactly what I'm trying to say, which is like, it bums me out when I see people, like I follow plenty of people, or I come across people online where I go to their page and I'm like, oh, you should have way more followers. Like what you're putting out there is so good.
Yes.
I really like it.
Yeah.
I'm going to keep engaging with it because I want you to win.
Yeah.
It makes me sad when those same people, I start to see them, they start like purposely changing their content to do this like one series that you can tell their heart's not in, but they're like, is this going to be the algorithm that breaks me or like helps me break into the game?
Yeah.
I see you, I got you, and I know it's easy for me to say because I'm on the other side now.
Yeah.
And I got a lot of beginner's luck, and then I just kept creating, and I'm grateful that I did get lucky, and then that helped.
Yeah.
But then of course I had to keep going and figuring this out. And so I want people to create and enjoy what they're creating first.
There's this girl, she makes like very, very like scholarly content about fashion. Her name is Ryan Finn.
The 2003 film 13 is unparalleled when it comes to teen girl films and costuming.
I've been obsessed with her for years and years and years. And she talked at one point about, there was this very long period of time in fashion where like young people in particular were very kind of displaced from any sense of like, how do we dress? Like what is kind of the look of this time period? And she talked about how for most of history, the way you dressed was kind of a symptom of the places that you would inhabit. And I kind of feel like the best way to go about like putting yourself out there online is kind of the same way. Like that dude who has the eel pit in his basement. Do you know what I'm talking about? Like
I have not seen this man, but I would like to see.
Stop, are you kidding?
No,
you never saw this.
I have to see.
Okay, for anyone who is not familiar, there is a man on TikTok who has a cistern under his home that he made into a cave filled with eels and like other really pretty fish. And it was like a huge thing for a while. And you have to think about like, which order did this happen in? That he wanted to be a TikToker, so he filled a pit in his basement with eels, or he was like, I'm the guy with the eel pit in my basement. People might like it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's more of just a symptom of what was going on.
Of what was going on.
You know?
Yes.
And people loved it.
Yes.
So I think that's what becomes really important. And then I think for that to happen, you kind of have to be like a logged off person.
We'll have like interests and stuff over here.
Yeah, you have to have a world going.
You have to have a world, and therefore we're right back to there. When you're like, I just want to be a content creator because I'm online all the time.
Yeah,
it's like, all right, I don't want you to be discouraged if that doesn't work.
Yeah.
Versus, I bet you have a niche interest or something you do or something about you or something that you have to say or art that you want to put out there that I would love to see.
Yeah.
And I want you to put that out there, and I want for you to be able to disengage with the outcome.
Yeah.
I mean, Lord knows, I have plenty of videos that hits 1 million, and then you have stuff that like 1,000 views or 2,000 views. And having to be like, okay, I put it out there though, and I like it, and I like that I'm creating and I'm putting stuff out there. I will never hate on somebody who's putting out videos and they only have a couple views. If anything, I respect you so heavy. That is so cool.
It's like very chic.
It's very chic.
And that's also where you get like your day one supporters who are just excited to see you. In fact, and then speaking of that, there was this person who had like there was some like really weird like off-brand Garfield like plushie that was like viral on the internet for a while, and that was their Abby. And every single one of my videos for like a year and a half, they would comment, "Hi, sister," and I would always find them. I'd be like, "Hi, sister, how are you?"
I love that.
And we would like talk for a second in the comments. Don't know what happened to them. If you're out there,
hi, sister,
come home.
Come home.
Hi, sister, come home. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like that period, like when posting just kind of becomes like you do it every day because it's just like a reflex. And then you have that little community of people who will tune in for anything, even if it's like 5 people.
Yes.
That is genuinely the most fun.
It is. You're going to be having the most fun, and I think it's actually best for your mental health to be putting stuff out there that you genuinely are like and are proud of.
Yeah.
I feel for anyone who's like locked into a niche or a brand that they do not align with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That must suck. You have got to stop.
Yeah.
Free yourself.
Yeah.
I think it's a slow death. It must be awful.
Yeah.
And I know there are people out there, and then when you see people that are like, some of your favorite influencers, I met your favorite influencer and they actually were totally different in person. I feel for them. It's like, well, maybe they're being an extrovert online, but actually in real life, they're deeply introverted. I've met a lot of people in the industry like that. And you gotta be nice. You gotta, everywhere you go. I keep looking at the camera because I'm talking to you guys too. There's nothing I hold closer to my heart than everywhere you go, treat people with respect, be kind, learn people's names, and do your best to be kind. You don't have to be a saint, and I'm certainly not a saint, nor am I perfect, but I really try to do that everywhere I go. That's the basis of what I'm about to say. However, I have absolutely met people in the industry who I was taken aback by, because I'm like, I came up to you expecting to greet the persona that I feel like I know parasocially.
Yeah.
And I realize now, that you are actually deeply shy. And this must be this is a lot of work for you to come out and do this. So I have compassion there too.
Yeah.